guys? Ooh, that's a little low. Shit. Okay, that's not working. What's happening here? Oh my God. What a fantastic start to a live stream. Wasn't that lovely? Hello, guys. All right. Pardon me while I get aligned up. How's your holiday? Does it feel like Sunday right now? I've been feeling Sunday all day. Good news and bad news about holidays is that you get that extra day. But then you also like, oh God, now I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I don't like going to work. Yeah, I guess it was in doubt a little bit. Because just I wasn't sure if I was gonna have, because it's a day off. It's a weekend really. Let's see. I'll switch over to that one. Hello from smoky, windy. There's fires going on all over the place. There's fires in Colorado. We had fires here recently. Where else did I see there were fires besides Washington? No new news today. Nobody's there's no news today for sure. We'll get news tomorrow if there is any news. I do have news actually. Before we get into appreciating cast members, I do have news. They're opening. If you're local to Southern California, they're opening the Great Wolf Lodge on October 1st. At least that's what I heard. If anybody could vet that for me. Great Wolf Lodge being a water park here in Garden Grove. I'm trying to catch up. How did I do this last time? Let's see if we go there. And what videos? What am I doing? Why is this not working? I can't remember how I did this last time. Oh my God. McGursh. Wait, which? Am I on Fresh Bake on this phone right now? Which account am I live streaming from? That's what it is. There we go. Now we're talking. All right. One more move. Hold on. Oh, no, I can't do that. Never mind. Okay. I don't have Super Chat on for Fresh Bake Presents, do I? Just the stickers, I think. That's all. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't get to see if anybody commented on. This is going to drive me crazy. You guys, I can't do it. I left my mouse. Hang on. Nothing like starting a live stream when you're not ready. There we go. Get a job you love, then it doesn't work. I say that every single day to anybody who asks. Do what you love. I used to love what I do, but not as much anymore. I'm just tired. I'm just tired and I want to relax. I just want to relax. Michael Wilson, David, would you ever have any interest in working as a cast member, maybe as a senior? Yeah, if I'm retired and I'm not doing Fresh Baked anymore, I would certainly look into that. But there would be a conflict. I can't be a cast member or work for Disney in any way and do these shows. So it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Well, I'm talking. Carrie Ojeda says you love making videos for us. Yes, this job I love. It's my other job that I don't love. Regina says, try watching a live stream on 2 different devices and one feed is a few seconds ahead of the other. Cheers. That's what I'm doing right now, Regina. I'm looking at the comments on my laptop, but it's about 2 seconds behind the actual live stream. So anyway, I don't know if anybody commented. I'll say it again. The Great Wolf Lodge is opening on October 1st. It's a water park in Garden Grove, just on Harbor Boulevard. And I don't know what that. How do they get to open in Orange County? When I hear that news, yeah, it's not even an outdoor water park; it's an indoor water park. The rules don't make sense. And if your rules don't make sense, why do you have rules? If your rules don't make sense, why are there rules? If they're not the same. Anyway, the only thing I could think of is that Disney can open and they just haven't or won't or don't until they have some other thing lined up, I guess. I don't know. Grace, I wish that were the case, but that's not how they decide. Grace says because people aren't traveling from all over to go to the dang Great Wolf Lodge. I don't think that that is a condition for them opening or not opening. I really don't. They're gonna the people going to Disneyland right now are gonna be locals anyway. Okay, so let's get off that topic for now because it's Labor Day, and I want to take this next 53 minutes, if we can, to recognize Disneyland cast members. And hang on one second. I've been very vocal in my support of Disney cast members since day one, since we started Fresh Baked, and I feel like there's Walt's sort of imprint on Disneyland. There's what Walt wanted, how they set up the park, and a lot of our experience is drawn from that. How we feel when we go to the park, but it doesn't make any difference. The real experience doesn't start until you interact with cast members, with Disney cast members. Disney cast members, I've often said, are the chosen people. I love them so much because they are the fifth element, as it were. And if you know that movie, there's the normal things that we consider to be a high priority for theme park. Whatever the 4 elements are for enjoying themed entertainment, going to an amusement park, going to a theme park, whatever those things are, the secret hidden element of Disneyland are the cast members, especially when you compare them to other theme parks. Certainly there are individual cases when you go to, let's say, Knott's or Magic Mountain or Universal or the zoo or whatever. Certainly there are going to be cast members or employees or team members, whatever you want to call them, that are going to be exceptional. But those are the ones that stand out. You're like, I noticed that guy. I noticed you. But at Disneyland, it is ever present. It is very rare that I have a negative experience with a Disney cast member. I mean, you could count them on one hand the amount of times that I've been upset at something that they said or did. Thank you very much to Destination Chronicles for the $3 sticker. Thank you. I don't know if there's a adequate way to say this, hard enough for everybody to hear. You know what I mean? Like, and I say that because very often when I'm at Disneyland, I experience people having negative interactions with cast members. And I just wish that everybody could understand what everybody could understand about the role of a Disney cast member, and what their job is like, what their role is, and how much they put out for you. All this stuff they're doing for you. They want your experience to be the most magical, best thing. They want you to remember your stay at Disneyland for a lifetime. And they do it for, they don't do it for money. I don't know why they do it, to be honest, because Disney cast members, frontline cast members especially, they don't make a lot. They make very little, actually. Let's not sugarcoat that. Let's not say that they don't make a lot. They make hardly anything. And so I often ask myself, what is it about that job that pulls them in? Because there are people lining up to go to work at Disneyland. Now I get it; it's an entry-level thing. It's like a first job for a lot of people, and there's that. But there are people who are, there for, it's their 10th job or their 20th job. It's there for their retirement, or they're lifers, or they grow through the ranks and they stay on. And considering how one-sided the relationship is between cast members and guests, every time I think about that, I get more and more appreciative of cast members and how much they do for us, because they don't get hardly anything back from guests. I mean, I guess that's true in a lot of cases in retail or lower level jobs. That's very true. But they put out way more than your target employee does. Or if you want to try to compare somebody on a similar pay scale, let's say, they put out so much. It is incredible how much they give relative to how much they get back. I'm going to catch up on some comments because I started off with a little bit of a monologue there. Daniel Seibert says cast members are there to make the guest day more magical and unforgettable. That is very true. Yes, that is their directive, is to put on a show, to help put on the show for us guests. The part that I find amazing is how willing and eager they are to do those things. I just can't believe that these people exist. I just feel like we're so lucky to have those kinds of people doing those, putting on that show for us. We're very lucky. Let's see. Regina Layton says, if I could afford to live in Orange County, it's not an easy thing. If I could afford to live in Orange County, I would want to work at Disneyland as a retirement job. Yeah. It would be pretty cool. Deanna Bauer says, can you imagine working with the public every day and trying to be happy all of the time. They deserve multiple medals. The custodial crew deserve a special thank you. Yes, the custodial, definitely. They all do. They all do. And as a matter of fact, I was trying to. It's been so long, man. Let's talk about some of those cast members. Let's talk about the Jungle Cruise skippers. That is a. Well, somebody tell me, former cast members, current cast members, do Jungle Cruise skippers where are they in the hierarchy in terms of pay? Do they get? Is there? Because I know that if you work at the Jungle Cruise, you rotate from a skipper to working on the dock to loading, unloading and loading guests. So it's not like you are just a Jungle Cruise skipper. You're also just the guy helping people get off the boats. Do they get paid any differently? No extra pay for skippers. Same as any other attraction. Can you so that alone, that job, the Jungle Cruise skipper job, is already an example of people you have to volunteer. You have to say, I want to work at Jungle Cruise. I want to be a skipper. And then I want to put on a show every 12 minutes. I mean, who are these people? Who are these people? I mean, how lucky are we that we have people who say, you know what, I want to be a Jungle Cruise skipper. I want to tell jokes in front of strangers every 12 minutes as part of my and get paid the same. I want to put myself out there, because you know how performing in front of any kind of audience is hard for a lot of us. And people who can do that normally get paid. I love Jungle Cruise skippers because they, some of them are really going for it. Some of them are they try to put their own stamp on the job, on the script, do things, whatever comedic talents they might have, their timing, etc. And it's no surprise when you think about it that so many former or so many entertainers that we know today are, somebody just mentioned Kevin Costner, that are former Jungle Cruise skippers. I think Robin Williams was a Jungle Cruise skipper at one point. Jungle Cruise skippers are just crazy. Same thing for Storybook Land. You know how hard that job is? You know how hard being a skipper on a boat at Storybook Land is? That is a hard job, because you've got all the training that they have to do. They have to memorize the script. They have to memorize that. That's like a 12-minute ride, isn't it? That's a long script they have to remember, and they have to put it out. They've got a lot of information they have to say, in a hurry, because it's a constant spiel. They don't get the chance to ad lib like they do on Jungle Cruise, for whatever reason. It would be cool if they could. There's not a lot of that. One of my favorite Storybook Land skippers is Elijah, and the way that Elijah makes the role his, the story his, the way he makes it his own, is by putting on a sort of English air about him, and he's telling a story from 100 years ago, like he's telling an Arthurian story. It's pretty great. Okay, let me go back and look at some comments. Michael Roca, they're preparing for a career in stand-up. That's truer than that's how you find out if you have it in you, I think. If you can do Jungle Cruise, then you can maybe go to the next step. Let's see. Gina S. I wish I could quit my job and go be a skipper on the Jungle Cruise or any performer at Disney, but you don't, Gina, because you need to make a living wage. That's why you don't. A lot of us would love to go to Disneyland and work. I could never do it. I can't work at Disneyland. I can't afford to work at Disneyland. uh, why are cast members being paid the same as Target employees? I mean, I get it. There's 30,000 of them. They have a lot of people to pay, but I just wish there was a world. I just wish there was a way that we could find a way to pay cast members more money. I don't know how we do that. I don't know how. I don't know how. Okay, so yeah, I was just talking about Jungle Cruise skippers, Storybook Land skippers. What about Duke? Duke at the canoes, man. There's a guy, again, who does that job just for the love of it. And he sells it every single time he goes on the canoes. He sells it every single time. And he does it for no other reason than it makes him, it makes him happy. Making us happy makes him happy. I have such admiration and love for Duke. And his cousin. Also, I forgot about him. Cousin Wing they're both amazing, and they do this part-time. They do this as a second job. They both have full-time jobs. I think Cousin Wing is a dentist. I think he's a dentist. And they just do it because they love making us happy. How lucky are we that we have people on this planet? I ask for this every day. I spend 20 minutes on Twitter and I'm like, God, this place is a hellhole. And I see people fighting and arguing every day. And people just can't be made happy. But Duke is. Duke is a happy guy. And Duke wants you to be happy. And Cousin Wing. They want you to be happy. We're so lucky. We're so lucky to have people like them. We're lucky to have people like Maynard, work in the Tiki Room or whatever the jobs he's had. And, he's been in the Haunted Mansion, crowd control on Main Street. I saw him working the Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. It was so surreal because if you ever have an encounter with Maynard, he's always, if you have an individual encounter with him, he'll just go on. He'll go on and on and on and just crazy, wild stuff that he does. But then he goes into Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, and he's just regular guy. His voice is not all over the place. It's very steady, very calm, and it was wild to watch him, listen to him do the bit at Great Moments, and know that he has a respect for Disneyland. He has respect for the job. He has respect for where he is in the park, and he knows when to turn it on and when to turn it off. But Maynard does all that again because he wants you to be. He wants to make you happy. He wants to make you laugh. He wants you to have a good time when you're at Disneyland. He wants your experience to be memorable. And again, we can't tip them. We can't tip them. We can do a cast compliment. I mean, you should do that. You should always be trying to do cast compliments if you can, either directly at City Hall where you can go in and say, I want to give a compliment to this cast member, or you can go on Twitter and do a cast compliment. But they don't. That doesn't get reflected in their check. It doesn't get reflected in their check at all. You know what? I don't. Let me get some water. Let me see here. I got to check on some comments. By the way, yes, Storybook Land is on a track. I see somebody asked me that a couple times. Uh, oh, Kiki wants to know, did you notice any difference in the CMs in Paris compared to Disneyland? Well, I can't. Yeah, a little bit, but not as much as you might think. For one thing, it was harder because of the language barrier. We didn't have like intimate exchanges. I don't know if that intimate's the right word. We didn't really have a lot of interaction, close one-on-one interaction with cast members because we don't speak French. So we just kind of went about our business. But you know, I guess maybe a little bit different. What it's too hard to say. It's too hard to say. I don't think I could say. Oh my gosh, I forgot how to pronounce her name. Ah, was it Ra? Rosin? You should make a compilation video of all the great moments Fresh Baked had with cast members on camera. That's the problem, is that so many of our best, exchanges with cast members occurred off camera because they're just trying to be there for us. They're not trying to do anything for the camera. They're just trying to be good cast members. So I wish I could add more of that. Plus, I lost a whole lot of footage. I gotta do better at maybe highlighting those when the time comes around, the cast member situations. Charlotte, oh no, okay. Benjamin says when we took a Disney cruise 4 years ago, and then hit Walt Disney World for a day before, and the non-character CM seemed like they were working at 7-Eleven. The cruise felt magical again. CMs like Disneyland. I believe what you're saying, Benjamin, or is it Benjamin, that cruise cast members are above, and I think that's true. I think they are on another level of going the extra mile. Cruise cast members. Okay, good. Okay, that's what. Yeah, Benjamin confirms that. Okay, so what do I got? You know who, you know who the cast members that I have a lot of respect for are the ones that are doing the very thankless jobs, like working at the front gates. The front gate cast members, the ones that scan you in, they scan your ticket. Those cast members, my goodness, talk about not getting a lot of. They don't get the. How do I put this? Because their interaction with guests are so brief, and the only time you notice them is when something goes wrong. Katie Chris is a front gate cast member. The only time you notice a front gate cast member is when something has gone wrong. Because they don't have the opportunity to make magic for you like a cast member on the streets does, or on an attraction. They don't have magic for you as much. But what they do have are annual pass holders that get angry at them when they get the boyo-yoing, when they are expecting, because they're trying. Cast members are trying, or I mean, annual pass holders are trying to get into the park on a blackout day, and then they get angry. And they get angry at the cast member for not letting them in. They think it's their fault, Disney's fault, that they got their days wrong, and they just tried to show up at the gate hoping to get lucky or something like that. I don't know. I want to talk to annual pass holders. Know your blackout dates, okay? I'll just put it as plainly as possible. Know what days you're allowed to be in the park and what days you're not allowed, and don't go on the days that you're not allowed, because what all it does is create problems where there shouldn't be. When you get that boyo-yoing, when you try to go through, and You know you're going to get that. Come on, man. Come on. How do you not know, right? How do you not know? I have so much because that's it's and it's not just the front gate. It happens in a lot of different areas. Uh, Cast members at City Hall. People that don't have an opportunity to provide magic, like you're expecting. All they get is bad news. All they get is bad news, and like the people that are the cast members that need to watch or stand in front of a closed attraction. My heart goes out to those cast members who are standing in front of Indiana Jones, so they can tell guests that they can't go in. I feel for them. I feel for them quite a bit. Yeah, Michael Sullivan says some of us passholes go out of our way to appreciate the CMs. Yes, definitely, and I encourage that as much as possible. Give something back when you can. Give something back to a cast member every chance you get, and then never ever give them any grief ever. Just don't ever. No matter what happened to you, nothing that happened to you is worth getting into the face of a Disney cast member. I promise you that. That is a way that I feel always. There's not a single thing that could happen at Disneyland that I would put or blame on a cast member. Even if it is their fault, let it go, because they're humans. You know what I mean? Like, people fail. They slip up. They don't do exactly the right thing sometimes. People have moments, but they are trying. They are trying. So even if you're positive the cast member didn't show up for you the way you thought they should, just keep on going like they did. Please, I beg of you, because they don't deserve any of that kind of grief. Dianna Centolio, I've had 2 parents and 2 children in front of me in line, and the parents were allowed that. This is what I'm talking about. The parents were allowed that day, but their children were blocked trying to get into DCA. It was awkward. Cast member handled it well. Parents did not, right? Because they're not. That's just not doing your job as a parent. You're just not doing your job. Okay, where was I? Now, okay, here's one for you guys. Tell me, I'm drawing a blank at the moment. Tell me I want to hear some of your favorite cast member stories or interactions, things that happened at Disneyland where a cast member really showed up for you. Wonka Vader says Disneyland maintains a file called the Magic File wherein they keep notes on difficult guests. A friend works in ticketing and told me that she's seen guests with pages of negative notes. My goodness. Somebody want to confirm for me if "Have a Magical Day" means what I think it means? I need to know what "Have a Magical Day" means. Stephanie Aguilar says, honestly, it makes me happy when a guest interacts with me and even says my name. I like asking guests how their day is going and what places to go see inside the park. Try to remember that too. Yeah, because the cast members aren't just vessels for you to dump on or vessels for them to provide something for you. They're human beings. And they like to be, like we all do, recognized and noticed. even if it means just saying their name. This is something that I've learned a long time ago in business. When you're just having any kind of conversation with somebody, say their name back to them. Oh, is that right, Mark? Well, what about this? How about, thank you very much, Mark. Say their actual name. It goes a long way towards that other person that you're dealing with feeling respected and noticed and validated, I guess. Regina Layton says, when the Disneyland Railroad was temporarily closed, we spent a lot of time at the stationary trains putting together puzzles and visiting with the CMs there. Steve was a particular favorite. I love Steve. I know who you're talking about. I love Steve. Steve is great. Steve led us into the Lily Bell at the same time when the trains were offline. He led us into the Lily Bell. Steve's great. Yeah, Regina just says we even got into the Lily Bell. I remember those days. Let's see. Carrie Ojeda, dropped my sunglasses into the toilet. Bathroom CM got me gloves and sanitizer spray. Went over the top to make sure I didn't get spray on my skin. Good heavens. How about that, right? How about that? That's pretty great. Conrad says, I think it's more the thought behind and the way Have a Magical Day is said that gives it one of two meanings. So it can still, I thought they reserved it just for the one thing. Because I've had it said to me before, and I'm like, did I say something? Did I do something that was, out of line? Because I've heard stories, you know what I mean? Well, that's good. So they can go either way. It all depends on the tone or the way they say it in their own head. Let's see. Lumbee Family Adventures. A few years ago, we had breakfast with Minnie at the plaza, and my son fell off the chair, and Eeyore came straight up and cuddled him and didn't leave till he was okay. That's nice. Eeyore is going to be there for you. Eeyore is going to be there for you. DW+3, a CM let us sit on the Golden Zephyr to watch a parade on the street below. How cool is that? That's awesome. I got to try that one of these days. I love seeing parades from different vantages. Let's see. Keith Salute says, I always try to get a guest name if I know the interaction is more than just where's the bathroom. Makes the day go by faster to have a conversation and end up making great friends who always come back. Yeah, it goes both ways, Keith. The name, saying a person's name is immeasurable. Remember that. Guinea Gamer says, this is interesting. It was the end of a cold night, and my daughter and I were standing next to the popcorn machine on Main Street waiting for my husband. The CM at the popcorn machine gave us both a bag of warm popcorn. How good did that make you feel, right? How good did that make you feel? Even if, they're told to do it. We're like, hey, you have to give away this popcorn still, because I know that there is I don't know if it's a specific directive, but cast members are given the liberty to find moments like that to make guests happy. That it's part of their job requirements. It's in their training. But knowing that still, it makes me happy to think that could happen to somebody, because we've had similar experiences like that where we got a little bit extra or whatever, And it feels really good. It does. It feels really, really good. Amy Tim says, my 5-year-old was crying and scared after going on the tire swings in Redwood Creek Challenge. Chip sat by him and hugged him and cheered him up until he stopped crying. You can count on Chip, too. You can count on Chip. Guinea Gamer says, yeah, it was amazing. She made us feel amazing. Ugh. You know, and here we are. This is what I'm talking about. It's stuck in your head. We're having this conversation now, and you remember that, and it's a reason to, continue loving Disneyland. And they don't get paid enough. They just don't. I want to put that in their check somehow. Oh my goodness. Michael Suji says, I was a CM at Aulani, a Disney resort and spa that's in Hawaii. During Disney traditions, we're trained to handle every single scenario that could come up or come our way and handle it in a proper manner. And it's more than just the customer's always right. There is a way to diffuse and to make the guest feel, feel good in even the times of a troubling or distressing situation. Wonkavator, at least 6 times I've spoken at length with cast members and asked how their days were going, and they've walked me directly onto an attraction. Nearly every CM will be more than kind if you're kind to them. Guys, I've been saying this for 7-8 years on this show. You got to give action to get action. If you want somebody to be nice to you, you've got to be nice to them. Or I should say, it's far more likely to get the outcome that you want or a favorable outcome if you first give the action. Don't wait for them to give it to you and then you return the favor. Pay first. Be the one to give the action and then you get the action back. I can't tell you, just like Wonka Vader says, how many times good things have happened to me because I put out good, positive energy up front, not expecting anything, with no expectation at all. Just try to be kind to a person, try to be respectful to a person, and you'll be astonished at what can happen to you. And everybody, wouldn't we all just be a little bit happier? Wouldn't we all just be a little bit happier if we thought that more often, if we did that more often? Wouldn't we be less angry and feel more loved and feel less disconnected if you just put out first? You got to give action to get action. And this has never left me in the 7 or 8 years that we've been doing. I don't even know how long it's been now, since 2013, 12, I don't know. It has never left me, the idea that what I do on Fresh Baked is I think only to give. But I mean, you guys are very generous. But I never do it with that expectation. I just want to make you happy. I want to put on a good show for you. And if we could just do that, think like a cast member, It's not where I thought this was going to go. But I just want people to be more happy. So much anger. And a lot of that has to do with not feeling fulfilled, not feeling complete, not feeling like we're validated or recognized. We feel lost and we feel, just not considered, appreciated. The first thing we got to do when these parks open again is to go thank a cast member. They're going to tell you to do something you don't want to do. They're going to tell you that you got to wear a mask. They're going to tell you got to wait you got to, give 6 feet. They're going to tell you all kinds of things that you may not want to hear. But you got to love them. Thank you. Tell them thank you for asking me to wear my mask. And thank you to Adamara, who gifted us with a $20 sticker, who says it's an avocado, or is that a pear? I think it's a pear. Who says, thanks for being you. Thank you, Adam. I missed some stuff. I want to try to go back because I think I saw Michael recognize somebody. But I don't know if I can find it. Hang on a second, guys. I can't. Sorry, I know this is boring. Oh, okay. That's what it was. Michael Sullivan had recognized D. Arakelian, who had said, always leave a commendation at Town Hall for a great CM. It goes into the permanent record. Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. Do that every chance you get. Or like I said, if you can't get to Town Hall, it's busy or whatever, and you don't have the time or you're in a hurry, do something on Twitter. Do the Twitter cast compliments go into the permanent record? Royce Garcia says, love is the answer. Love is always the answer. Even when you've got something that you're not enjoying, or you want to give somebody bad news, or if you're in a moment where you feel like you're not going to give your best, think first. Think in your head, come from love. Have love in your heart before you do whatever it is, that thing that you're about to do. If you can have love in your heart first, before you act, before you speak, take a beat. I learned this with my son, and whenever I was upset with my son when he was little, and they don't know any better, and I still to this day I practice this as much as possible. It's easy to have love when things are going well, but when things aren't, that's the hard part. Think first about what that you love that person, and then do the thing, say the thing. It changes everything. It changes everything. Okay. I would love, actually. Walker Vader says, I've met countless great CMs, and I often ask them to share their favorite Disneyland stories. I've heard some great ones. I would love to hear some stories like that from cast members, from their side, Games for you. There's a person who gives gifts to cast members when they go to Disneyland. They bring them into the park. That's cool. Okay, let me see if I have any more notes. We're almost out of time. I got 10 minutes. Okay, this was just some random stuff I was thinking about. Or maybe not. Dude, that would be cool. Keith Salute, I've had multiple guest kids give gifts or letters. A letter would be really cool. I think that's something that you could keep forever. Sometimes a gift is hard to take with you. Let's say you move, or you unpack things, and you can lose track of a gift. But you can, I keep a box with cards and letters and things that I've gotten from fans of the show, from Muffins. I've got stuff going back years that, I just put it in the box, and I have it there, and it's something that I can go back and reflect on and sort of, I don't know. You guys say some of the nicest things, some of the letters that we get, some of the conversations that we've had with fans of the show. You guys say, you've been saying it in chat, for God's sakes. You guys say some of the nicest things. And it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good. And that's what I would ask more of you to do that too with cast members. Who forgot to hit the like button? What? I don't think we have any moderators on this channel. No, Supra. Scrolling back on some comments here. Shout out to the guests that came in on holidays with treats and handed them out to cast members. That's cool. Walkovator says, regarding gifts, I've often given them to CM small chocolates and such. One, though, told me that they're not allowed to accept them and can get in trouble if they do. Probably not tips. I don't think they can accept tips, except unless their job, a tipping is normal. But I think that they can take a piece of chocolate. Thank you to Gordon, who gifted us with a pound. I don't know. Is your guy? What is your little guy? You got a little halo on there? That's cute. That's an important observation that Naomi W. just made. And actually, this applies to everybody that you encounter in your daily life. Cast members have things going on in their life, but they never let it show. That must be hard. Try to imagine what it must be like from the other guy's shoes. You're upset at somebody for something they did. Be that a cast member or just somebody that cut you off in traffic. Try to imagine that maybe they're going through something. That maybe they're having a bad day. That maybe something is challenging them. That they're not just a prick. You know what I mean? It's so easy for us to just judge and assume that we're right and we got the high ground. But a lot of the mistakes that I've made in my life, big ones, small ones, whatever, a lot of those were due to just being in a troubling situation, being upset. I got mad at somebody at the DMV not long ago, and my son checked me on it. And I was going through some troubling stuff at the time, and I didn't like what they were telling me, and I acted like a jerk. And he said, "You're being a jerk." And I apologized to him later. I'm like, you're right. I was out of line. I was just angry, and I shouldn't have done that. And sometimes that's why it's so important, if we can, to take a minute, to take a breath before we do or say the thing, because we're all walking our paths. We're all going through something. We're all trying to get through our lives as best as we can. And I don't know about you, but my day doesn't go as well as it does, or as well as I want it to most days. Most days, I'm not hitting home runs. Most days, stuff's happening. It's not always who right now. If I poll the audience, we got 433 people right here. I would love to see the ratio of everybody of who's having a top day. You know what I mean? Like, what? Hey, Callie Mexicano just said, "Good topic. Read up on David Wallace." Are you talking about David Foster Wallace? Because that's where I got that. The conversation I just had about trying to empathize with how somebody else's day is going is a David Foster Wallace speech that he gave at a graduation ceremony. I forget where. See? There's at least one other person. It makes me sad what happened to David Foster Wallace. But when I heard that, and I had already been practicing that, but I always felt like I was alone and that nobody else could really. He articulated that concept for me better than anybody I have ever heard. So if you have a minute, if you want to practice empathy, if you want to know what it's like to feel empathy or how to feel empathy, do a Google search for David Foster Wallace. I don't know what, Callie, can you, I forget what the speech is called, or how to Google it. I feel like I got stuck somewhere. Yeah, by the way, I'm looking at some folks here who's saying it's a good mix of, it hasn't been great, but it's getting better. Not a great day. But some are Daniel's having a great day, so thumbs up for Daniel. I'm not sure what Simply Eeyore. Is it freezing a lot? 11 Angel 11, Dad has dementia and can't remember me, and I was flipped off driving back from seeing him. See? Right? That's exactly what the David Foster Wallace thing that I'm talking about is like. You don't know. Like the guy that you just got mad at could be having a day like 11 Angel 11. Or going through some stuff. You just never know. You just never know. Thank you very much to Guinea Gamer, who gives us with a $2 sticker and said thanks. Namaste to you. You know what? I'm going to look it up right now. David Foster Wallace. Did we get more?
Are you still going?
Yeah. Yeah, we're wrapping up.
Okay.
Hold on, guys. Wife just walked in. Let's see. Graduation speech. There we go. I think it is. Yeah, just look up David Foster Wallace graduation speech, and I think you'll enjoy it, and it'll help you every time you're feeling like you're not being empathetic enough. It's a great way to remember what other people are going through. And if you don't know David Foster Wallace, he wrote the greatest novel ever written, Infinite Jest, as well as a couple other great books. And then he committed suicide because he was going through some stuff too. But he still managed to think of other people along the way. Thank you very much to Porkins, who gave us a $3 sticker. He says, my hero. Namaste to you. All right, well, I guess it's 5 o'clock. That means we've reached our hour. Thanks for joining us, you guys. Thanks for being here and let me pontificate on on cast members and kindness and empathy. I hope that you guys, let this penetrate you a little bit, if not forever, just for a little while until the next time. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be nice. Don't be afraid to be kind. Don't feel like you're going to let anybody, take advantage of you. You're not going to be weak, or thought of as being weak. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being kind and having empathy. And thank you, like Michael Sullivan, who just gave us a $20 sticker. He says, you are amazing. Thank you, Michael. Always very kind, Michael is. And thank you to, jeez, you guys, to Mary Ann Nadell for a $10 thank you on the sticker. You guys are great. Yeah, try to remember this. Come back to that conversation, that thought every now and then. I'll try to remember you too. I love you guys, and we'll see you Wednesday, I guess. Until then, fresh bite. Bye, guys. Oh, that's right. I'm over here.